Hey YouTube, this is DWS Darius Fish Tanks, and in this video I will discuss how to care for large aquarium fish. Now this has been on my mind for a couple of days, just tips that I could give to people, and in this video I'm just going to give you guys a little part of my ideas and thoughts about keeping large fish. Okay, so first off, the most important thing about keeping big fish is your tank size. If you want to keep monster fish, you're going to need a monster tank. Now this is my 210 gallon tank, and it's hard to admit, but this tank is too small for the fish that I have, so pretty soon I'm going to have to do another upgrade. All the fish in this tank get relatively large, and this tank is relatively small compared to the size of these fish, and I want my fish to have enough room to swim around. I want them to feel very comfortable, and a 210 would make them very cramped. So one important thing to consider when keeping large fish is your tank size. I recommend planning out the size that your fish actually gets before getting the tank. Don't start off with anything small if you're not really willing to upgrade, and quick upgrades as well, because I started with these guys in 55, and within a year I had to bring up 2 more tank sizes. So keep in mind, when keeping big fish, you need big tanks. Another thing to consider when keeping large fish is that large fish have large appetites, and you want to keep just an idea of how much it would cost to feed your fish monthly. Now I pretty much stick to pellets with these guys, and I use Hikari jumbo carnivore sticks, and that bag right there costs $21, and I have some Massive for Delight, which is about $25. So about close to $50 with shipping every month for these fish if I'm lucky. If I'm lucky, that bag is going to last a month. So it's very important to consider how much it would cost to feed your fish to keep them healthy. Some other things that I try to do to feed them with is by just changing up their diet a little. I feed them raw shrimp and raw krill and sometimes worms, but we got to make sure that we meet each fish requirement, because not every fish can eat shrimp and not every fish can eat carnivore foods. Okay, another important thing to consider when keeping large fish is tank mates. Now many people prefer, when keeping large fish, to either keep them solitary or to keep them in pairs. I, on the other hand, like to keep my fish in small groups. Now doing this can be very dangerous, as fish can get tired of each other and eventually kill or hurt one another. When I chose my tank mates for this community of large fish, I sought out those fish that weren't too aggressive, like the peacock bass, and just tried to get fish that I know wouldn't cause much of a fight, like the silver arowana. I have a jaguar cichlid in here, and jaguars can be pretty aggressive. That's why I got a female, and the same with the chocolate back there. I've heard stories of chocolates being aggressive as well, so I have a female back there. So as far as tank mates, it's very important to consider which fish your fish will get along with. Make sure that you're not choosing tank mates based upon your wants, rather upon the fish wants, because at the end of the day, your fish are going to get what they want, and if they don't want the fish that you wanted to be with them to be in there, they're going to find a way to get rid of them. Okay, another thing to consider when keeping large fish is the maintenance. Now big fish do eat a lot, therefore big fish do poop a lot, therefore the water quality can get very bad very quickly. So it's very important that you just stay on top of keeping your tank nice and clean for your fish. Make sure that you're not neglecting any of the work that's needed to keep your tank clean, but make sure that you provide that care, because big fish need big care. Keeping clean water can prevent many diseases that come with big fish, and it can just cause your fish to live a longer, healthier, happier life. Okay, to sum things up, keeping big fish is an awesome thing, but just make sure you're prepared to handle and to take care of these fish. Make sure that you're not just doing it without the care, but that you have the full care, because without care it won't last. Big fish can be just very awesome to watch. I can watch these fish for hours. But my advice to all is that if you want big fish, you gotta have a big heart for fish, because these fish take a lot of care, a lot of appreciation. Thanks.